What's the problem with a cut rate law firm?
You get a lot of, I think the industry term is a chop shop. A lot of websites out there that brag about bottom rates. They'll do your trademark application for what would seem to be pennies on the dollar, and there's a lot of issues with that. The first one is they tend to not disclose to you that there's a filing fee that has to be paid. That gets paid to the Patent and Trademark Office. There's no way around it. And they never include that dollar amount when they tell you what their rates are. So you get a surprise after you hire them when you find out that there's at least 275 and if not 375 additional dollars that's got to be paid before they're going to get their trademark. So we don't do that. We set forth all our costs right up front and no surprises. You're also going to find that these businesses, their primary interest is to get you in as a client, get the work done as quickly and as cheaply as possible, and be done with you. They don't want to have an ongoing relationship, they don't want to answer questions, and to be honest, they don't much care whether your application gets approved. They're interested in collecting that fee at the front and getting the work done and being done with it. The problem with that is somewhere on the order of 75 to 80% of trademark applications actually get rejected. There's a thing called an office action that's issued, and it's a preliminary rejection. And sometimes these rejections are minor, sometimes they're major. Sometimes there's major problems that the trademark office, the examining attorney, points out with the application. And most of those problems, if not, well, nearly all of those kinds of problems can be screened out. If you have a qualified licensed attorney who has your best interests at heart, who's sitting there looking to tell you, hey, this trademark's never going to make it through. You're going to get a rejection because of this problem or that problem. Again, the cut rate person isn't much interested in discouraging you from filing for a trademark application. So they don't have much interest in spending a lot of time telling you you can't have that. You'll never succeed in registering that trademark. We do. And by doing that, I can say that other than in cases where I sort of warned the client in advance that there might be a problem with their application and they decided to take the risk and file anyway, we've actually never once gotten what's called a substantive office action filed on any of our trademark applications. So the screening process is huge. And critically, if you file and you did not do the proper screening and your application gets rejected, you lose every penny that you spent. You lose your filing fee. You lose the amount you paid to that cut rate attorney, never to come back. You've got to start all over. So we stop that at the very beginning. We screen your mark, we know all the rules, and we'll help you get a mark that's going to make it through so that at the end of the day you actually spend less because you've properly screened the mark and done everything possible to make sure it gets through successfully as quickly as possible.
In the age of the internet, why would I want to do it myself?
Well, I can tell you, this book here is just one of many that goes through all of the rules that apply to what things can and cannot be trademarked. What words can, what kinds of expressions can, what colors and slogans can, and which ones can't. And there's a long list of rules. I know all those rules. As an individual, your choices are basically three. You can learn those rules yourself, which would take you a tremendous amount of time. Or you can roll the dice. Just decide, I'm not going to figure out whether my mark qualifies. I'm just going to go ahead and file the application. Well, then you spent $375 minimum on your application fee, and if your mark gets rejected, you can never get that money back. It's rejected, and you got to start all over. Or your third choice is to go to an attorney who's qualified and already knows the rules. So you can come to me, and we can get your mark properly screened so that you're certain to get something that's going to actually give you value for your filing fee, get you with the registration that you want at the end of the day.